Okay, Obama orders 1 million U.S. troops to prepare for civil war in America. My new friend here, her name is, let me scroll down. Thank you for all my subscribers. Blake Barbie Doll. She said one more thing. I have subscribed to you so that when you make a video about the article, which is what I'm going to do now about the Civil War in America, I will be sure to see it. However, still share it with me when you make it. So, she subscribed, but she still wants me to share it. So, I'll send you the video too. And here it is. You guys have sent that thing different. I hope you send that thing different. If you haven't, go to freedayton or saveoursociety.net. Here we go. Obama orders 1 million U.S. troops to prepare for civil war. Shattered Union. I'll put the URL in here. Freedom Fighter Radio. This was put up November 28th. I saw it over the weekend. I just haven't done my own video yet. It's December 1st evening. I've been at work today. And I got the video earlier of the demolition that I don't want to happen on West 5th Street, 1300 West 5th. And I got Samuel on there. Please watch that. Please rate it. Please help me. Here we go. Russian military analysts are reporting to Prime Minister Putin that U.S. President Barack Obama has issued orders to his Northern Command, USNORTHCOM, top leader U.S. Force General Renuart, to begin immediately increasing his military forces to 1 million troops by January 30th, 2010, in what these reports warn is an unexpected outbreak of civil war, within the United States before the end of winter. This little red bit here goes up to ratings, but I guess they got all the comments now. If Obama signs our sovereignty and freedom away and brings foreign troops to suppress our freedom, will you fight back? Well, yes. Answer these questions now on our poll on top left of the site. Well, the poll's been answered. It's not there anymore. Okay. According to these reports, Obama has had over these past weeks numerous meetings with his war council about how best to manage the expected implosion of his nation's banking system, while at the same time attempting to keep the United States military hegemony over the world in what Russian military analysts state is a last-ditch gambit, whose success is far from certain. And to Obama's last-ditch gambit, these reports continue. He is to announce in a nationwide address to his people. I think that was tonight. I think I missed it. I got home too late. This coming week, hopefully it wasn't today, Monday, December 1st, that he is going to expand the level of U.S. military forces in Afghanistan by tens of thousands of troops, while at the same time using the deployment of these soldiers as a cover for returning to the United States over 200,000 additional American soldiers from the over 800 bases in over 39 countries they have stationed around the globe, bringing the level of those forces in America to over 1 million. A number of U.S. military believes will be able to contain the explosion of violence. Expected to roil these people when they learn their economy has been bankrupt. Well, we already know. Look up the Federal Reserve, people. These reports further state that at the same time Obama will be attempting to keep his nation from violence. We gotta be vigilantes. From violent disintegration. The tens of thousands of additional troops he will send to Afghanistan are to be ordered to Kandahar, where the Americans and their NATO allies will begin their final attempt to secure their Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India pipeline, which, without the Western nations due to the grave lack of alternative energy resources and being cut off from these vast Central Asian supplies, which both Russia and China are seeking to ensure, are warned will totally collapse, making the Americans and, by extension, the West situation even worse. On new reports coming from the International Energy Agency stating that under pressure from the U.S. government, they have been deliberately underplaying a looming global oil shortage for fear of triggering panic buying and raising the American fear over the end of oil supremacy, because it would be threatened It would threaten their power over access to our world's last remaining oil resources. To the scariest end game, maneuvers being made by Obama. But it's not really Obama, it's the people getting Obama. It's the people getting Obama. It's the people that put him in office for civil rights, and then now they're making it into a race war, because wait down the bottom of this article, I'm serious, it gets worse. Almost 6 minutes. 4.5 minutes left. Okay. To the scariest endgame maneuvers being made by Obama. But it's not Obama, it's the banksters, the people that run the world. Just look back to Federal Reserve, founded in 1913 on Jekyll Island by Rockefellers and J.P. Morgan type people, and look at the fact that before that it was Knights Templar, and actually Dayton, Ohio, where I'm from, where I live in America, it had the flood in 1913 too. So it's not Obama, it was happening way before Obama. In his attempt to protect America's global hedge money, in his record-shattering move of plunging the United States $3.5 trillion further into debt, because the banksters made him, people. Now, banksters made him, 614, and which raises the total amount owed by the United States to its citizens of the world to the unprecedented height of over $106 trillion. Oh, gosh, let me scroll this. So alarming has Obama's actions become. It's not Obama, it's the banksters, especially since they are being imitated by all of the Western powers. Yeah, the banks are following the banks and the banks and the banks. That the managing director of the International Monetary Fund, was that a bank thing? Yes. Dominique Strauss-Kahn warned the past week that the stimulus actions of the West, which in essence is nothing more than the printing of money with nothing to back it up, right, we know that, has now become a threat to democracy. Well, yeah, as millions of people are expected to erupt in violence against the government over the theft of their money and their futures. Well, right, there's a lot of theft to our futures, people. Okay, up a little bit here. Most unfortunately for the American people, though, is that this IMF warning fell on deaf ears because no one listens, because everyone watches friggin' reality television. They don't see what's really going on in the United States, with the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis President James Bullard saying this week that the U.S. would continue its stimulus actions because they would give more flexibility to U.S. policymakers. The most absurd statement, especially when viewed in the light of unprecedented debt payments currently looming over the American economy. They have no ability whatsoever to pay. We can't afford it. To the ability of the West banking giants to save their nation's economy. Even worse news came this week with the U.S. ratings giant Standard & Poor's issuing a warning that every single bank in Japan, U.S., Germany, Spain, Italy, included in S&P's list of 45 global lenders, remains unsafe. A warning which then led to one of Europe's largest banks, Societe Generale, warning its clients to prepare for a total global economic collapse. Now, Societe Generale is warning its clients about total global economic collapse. Is anyone else? Sarah Stanton. SaveOurSociety.net. To the fears of Obama over the United States erupting as a civil war, once the full extent of the rape and pillaging of these peoples by their banks and government becomes known to them, grim evidence now shows the likelihood of this occurring much sooner than later, especially in new poll figures showing that Obama's approval rating among white Americans, they bring up the race card here, has now fallen to 39%, and that's really bad because when you're British living in America, you know what the white hate is. You know when you've been in a KKK cell put in there by policemen that knew you had death threats from the KKK. You know. So 61% of Americans are really mad right now, 61% of white Americans, which is a number made more significant when one realizes that the white population of the United States comprises 74% of the estimated 398 million citizens. Or put more ominously in these reports, as over 220 million American people armed to the teeth and ready to explode. 220 million people in America, white people, because that's 61% of Americans, and 39% of the only white Americans that like him. And so fearful has the white population of the United States become that upon the election of Obama to the presidency, he was named as the gun salesman of the year. And the gun sales were up last year, trust me, by the Outdoor Wire, the U.S.'s largest daily electronic news service for the outdoor industry. I'll skip down the body here. Professor Igor Pruneman further states in his warning that he just has mercy upon all of them. This is written from another country. Peace out. I hope this fits on YouTube. Love you guys.